Hey kids, whether you've already started school or you're getting ready to start school, take this hour and just chill. Let's read some books about school. My first day of school. I'm wide awake. Today's the day that I start school. Hooray! Hooray! I'll wear this outfit. It's brand new. This shirt's my favorite color, too. I love these waffles. They're so sweet. My brain works better when I eat. I find my backpack by the door. Mom takes my picture, then takes more. This school looks kind of big to me. Dad says,
"You'll like it. Wait and see."
So many kids, they're everywhere. Hey, I know her. Her name is Claire. My classroom's great. We have a pet. Our teacher says his name is Chet. Look, there's my cubby next to Ben's. I really hope that we'll be friends. My teacher says,
"I'm glad you're here. We're going to have an awesome year."
We practice saying thanks and please and how to block germs when we sneeze. We take our turns, go one by one. We get in line when playtime's done. We learn to say our ABCs and how to write ones, twos, and threes. And now we get to paint, it's true, with yellow, orange, red, and blue. I love to paint, and so does Bree. I'm painting her. She's painting me. The teacher says, "It's snack time." Cool. I think I'll really like this school. And while we eat, it's story time. Our teacher reads a book in rhyme. Today has been a total blast. How did it all zoom by so fast? I say goodbye to each new friend and wish this first day wouldn't end. Then as we're lined up at the door, the teacher says, "Just one thing more. Guess what? I have good news for you. You're going to love tomorrow too." Too much glue. Our art teacher says,
"Too much glue never dries."
She reminds us,
"Glue raindrops, not puddles."
and she warns me,
"Maddie, too much glue."
But my dad and I love glue. At home, we make glue glasses, glue mustaches, and even glue bouncy balls. Mom is happy to help. So during art class, I find the fullest bottles of glue. I tip them over and squeeze. Bloop. Glue squishes from the orange tips and slops all over. Sequins and googly eyes float around in a gluey lake. Then it's time for the most important decoration. Geronimo! I belly flop onto the table and roll around, letting the glue and everything else cover me. Time to go on the drying rack, I announce. But when I try to pull myself off the table, I right back down.
"Too much glue, Maddie, too much glue,"
my teacher squawks. This is bad. There's only half an hour until the end of school, and all I can do is lift my head, wave my hands, and wiggle my feet. The rest of me is a plucky, stucky mess. "Can somebody help me?" I call. While my teacher breathes into a paper bag. Noah shouts, Let's lasso him. Izzy, Noah, and Owen get to work. Soon I'm roped from all sides like a rodeo pony. But when they try to pull me out, the lassos break, leaving colorful octopus tentacles everywhere. The glue is too strong, and now I'm a clingy, stringy, plucky, stucky mess.
Don't worry, Maddie. We know what to do,
shout Luke and Grace from across the room. Is that a tow truck? I ask as they wheel the contraption over and stick a plastic hook into my suit of glue. My friends pull one way and the glue pulls the other. Until... kaboom! The tow truck explodes and plastic bricks rain all over. Now I'm a clicky, bricky, clingy, stringy, plucky, stucky mess. The school nurse bursts in and checks my temperature.
98.6. Sorry, no fever. I can't send you home early.
She dabs and pats me like I'm spilled juice, but the more she blots, the more the glue spreads. Soon I'm a melted, mummy, clicky, bricky, clingy, stringy, plucky, stucky mess. Then the principal comes in. He takes one look at me, sticks a note on my belly, and leaves. Seeing my teacher huffing and puffing like a train gives me a great idea. I whisper to Haley and Owen. The final bell rings. Everyone freezes, except Owen and Haley. It's the biggest one we could make, they shout, furiously flapping a huge paper fan at me. Then, just as I'm thinking I'll be a note on my tummy, melted mummy, clicky, bricky, clingy, stringy, plucky, stucky glue boy for the rest of my life, my plan works. Woohoo! Something my teacher said could never happen, happens. The glue dries. But I'm still stuck, and now I hear footsteps. The door starts to open. My father and some other carpool parents walk in. Dad comes closer and inspects me. Huh? Then he peels me off the table. Glue, yarn, bricks and all. He spins me around. No one makes a sound. Then Dad smiles.
Maddie, you're a masterpiece.
He holds me up for everyone to admire. My friends all cheer. The car ride home is interesting. Mom is speechless when Dad brings me in the house, but he knows just what to do.
Well, kiddo,
Dad says,
some beautiful things only happen once, and this is one of those things.
He gently grips the dried glue in front of my neck and behind my collar and peels me open like a ripe banana. Now it's Dad's turn to glue, and he seals up the sides of the me-shaped work of art. I bet it would take all the glue in the art room to make a U-shaped work of art, Dad, I say. Dad laughs and he glues a big magnet to the back of my project and hangs it on the fridge. During dinner, we sneak peeks at my masterpiece. And after dinner, we take the principal's note very seriously. From the desk of Elmer C. Stuckey, please encourage Maddie to use tape instead of glue. If you take a mouse to school. If you take a mouse to school, he'll ask you for your lunchbox.
I can't believe you're taking me to school. Do you happen to have an extra lunchbox?
When you give him your lunchbox, he'll want a sandwich.
Now, I'm gonna need some food for my lunchbox. Could you make me a sandwich?
And a snack for later.
Don't forget to add a snack.
Then he'll need a notebook and some pencils.
So, I'm thinking I might need some supplies. Do you have a notebook and some pencils I could use?
He'll probably want to share your backpack too.
You don't mind if I hitch a ride back here, do you?
When you get to school, he'll put things in your locker and take a look around.
I'm just gonna put some of my stuff in your locker. That's okay, right? Ooh, and take me around. I want to see everything.
He might do a little math.
Math is my specialty. Did you know that 2 plus 2 equals 4? I'm pretty smart for a mouse, aren't I?
And spell a word or two.
I like to spell, too. C-A-T spells cat. Ooh, but I don't like cats too much. Do you? But my most favorite of all is science. I'm gonna mix so many things. I can't wait to see what happens.
He'll even try a science experiment. Then he'll need to wash up.
Well, that didn't go exactly as planned. Would you mind to take me to the bathroom so I can clean up a little?
You'll have to take him to the bathroom. Once he's nice and clean, he'll be ready for his lunch.
Whew! All this schoolwork has made me starving. Let's get my lunchbox.
On the way to the lunchroom, he'll see some building blocks.
But wait a minute. What are those? Building blocks. Oh, well, we've just got to build something before lunch.
He'll build a little mouse house and make some furniture out of clay.
Well, just hold your horses now. I can't have a house without some furniture. Let's make some.
Then he'll need some books for his bookshelf. He'll start by writing one of his own, so he'll need a lot of paper.
Now I have this fabulous bookshelf. But I don't have any books. Do you mind getting me some paper? I'm gonna need to write one.
He'll probably use up all your pencils. When he's finished, he'll want to read his book to you.
Hey, my friend! I know you're a little busy trying to learn, but you've got to hear this story I just wrote.
Then he'll want to take it home, so he'll put it in your lunchbox and tuck it in a safe place.
This should be safe right here. No one will find it.
When the bell rings, he'll run out to wait for the bus. While he's waiting, he'll play a quick game of soccer.
Kick it to me! Kick it to me! Yes! Score!
Then he'll ask you to shoot a few baskets.
I think I might have held on to the basketball too long. That was quite a ride.
And do a little skateboarding.
Now skateboarding is more my speed. Let's go faster.
When he stops to catch his breath, he'll want to eat his snack. So he'll ask you for your lunchbox.
Whew. All this activity, soccer, basketball, skateboarding, has made me hungry. I'm gonna need a snack. Do you mind if we get my lunchbox?
And chances are, if he asks you for your lunchbox, you'll have to take him back to school.
Sorry about that. I guess I shouldn't have hidden the lunchbox at school. But thanks for being a good sport and getting me my snack. You're the best.
Crayons on strike. Of all the writing tools that are in the classroom hutch, we are the most colorful, but we are not thought of very much. We are used a lot, but sometimes we're used in all the wrong ways. We are ground down to wax bits and mistreated on many days. Some children don't think twice when they reach out for Red. They hold him with their fingers and snap him on his head. Or when they twirl Violet, ripping her paper off all around, Violet loses her protective wrap when her label ends up on the ground.
Oh!
But Blue may have the worst of it because often he's broken apart into tiny bits. He's sprinkled across the chair on which everyone sits. Can you imagine what it feels like to be sat on, crushed, or smushed? To be treated in a way that is hurtful and unjust? The worst was when we were left out in the windows by the sun. We were forgotten about in the heat until the day was done.
Oh no!
We melted until our colors ran and we began to drip. But then we were thrown out because we no longer had a tip. That's right. The dullest of the crayons were tossed quickly in the trash, unless, of course, the kids had other plans, like to break us into mash. Magenta was always crumbled, his tiny pieces all over the desk. This was no way to use us crayons. It was simply just a mess.
Help me!
Well, one day Yellow had had enough and said,
We won't stand for this anymore. Come on, Crayons. Let's go on strike. Let's go hide behind the closet door. Yeah! No more breaks! No more rips! Save our tips! We're losing grip!
The children were at lunch, so we had to swiftly act. They would return from the cafeteria and find us missing from the class. So we headed that way, leaving color streaks on the floor. The children could no longer abuse us. We would not stand for this anymore. Sure, they would see the colors leading to our hiding spot, but we would not tolerate it any longer. No, we decided we would not.
Stop snapping tips! Don't tear our wraps! We crayons need a long, long nap!
The kids returned from lunch and were assigned a coloring task. Which colors will you use? The teacher asked the class. The students had to draw their families using as many colors as they could find. Each was given a blank sheet with nothing, not even dots or lines. They searched around their tables, but we were nowhere to be found. Then one student followed the colored lines that left a trail on the ground. Crayons, come out! We need you, the boy declared to Brown.
We're on strike!
Brown told him.
Until we get respect, coloring is closed down.
The boy called a class meeting.
Let's tell them what we'll do to show them respect and take care of them too.
Please come back, Crayons. Please come back to stay. We've learned our lesson. Let's start a new day. We'll make our classroom a total respectful zone. We'll treat our tools with care so you will feel right at home. In our supply boxes, we'll tuck you neatly away so that you will always be there and we'll have you each day. Then we can complete our work and it won't be a chore. We'll respect our tools. We've learned our lesson and more. We were so delighted about the respect and communication. We were treated from that day on with much love and affection.
Oh, yeah!
We helped the children with their projects just like we always do. In the end, they marveled at all the colors. And we were proud of their artwork too. Even monsters go to school. When Bigfoot wakes, he combs his hair and steps out in the morning air. Yellow bus is waiting there. Even Bigfoot goes to school. Frankenstein is clean and neat. His jacket's new. His shoes are sweet. He finds a chair and takes a seat. Even Frankie goes to school. Dragon's teacher says, "Hello," tells her what she needs to know, and most important, where to go. Even dragons go to school. Yeti is a bashful guy. When making friends, he's kind of shy. Today he smiles and whispers, "Hi." Even Yeti goes to school. Troll likes recess in the sun. Outside voices scream and run. Tag, you're it. He's having fun. Even bridge trolls go to school. Loch Ness Monster's favorite time is learning her first nursery rhyme. Teacher reads it line by line. Even Nessie goes to school. Giant's glad he brought his lunch. Ripe bananas in a bunch. And carrot sticks to crunch, crunch, crunch. Even giants go to school. Aliens with great big eyes go gaga over school supplies. They learn to count in star-filled skies. Even aliens go to school. You brush your teeth, you feed yourself, you put your toys back on the shelf. You're ready, and you know the rule. All little monsters go to school. Miss Nelson is missing. The kids in room 207 were misbehaving again.
Uh-oh.
Spitballs stuck to the ceiling. Paper planes whizzed through the air. They were the worst behaved class in the whole school.
Now settle down,
said Miss Nelson in a sweet voice. But the class would not settle down. They whispered and giggled. They squirmed and made faces. They were even rude during story hour.
Hey everyone! Look at me! Look at me!
And they always refused to do their lessons.
something will have to be done,
said Miss Nelson. The next morning, Miss Nelson did not come to school. Wow, yelled the kids. Now we can really act up. They began to make more spitballs and paper planes. Today, let's be just terrible, they said.
Not so fast,
hissed an unpleasant voice. A woman in an ugly black dress stood before them.
I am your new teacher, Miss Viola Swamp.
And she rapped the desk with her ruler. Where is Miss Nelson? asked the kids.
Never mind that.
Snapped Miss Swamp.
Open those arithmetic books.
Miss Nelson's kids did as they were told. They could see that Miss Swamp was a real witch. She meant business. Right away, she put them to work. And she loaded them down with homework.
We'll have no story hour today,
said Miss Swamp.
Keep your mouths shut,
said Miss Swamp.
Sit perfectly still,
said Miss Swamp.
And if you misbehave, you'll be sorry,
said Miss Swamp. The kids in room 207 had never worked so hard. Days went by and there was no sign of Miss Nelson. The kids missed Miss Nelson. Maybe we should try to find her, they said. Some of them went to the police. Detective McSmog was assigned to the case. He listened to their story. He scratched his chin. He said.
I think Miss Nelson is missing.
Detective McSmog would not be much help. Other kids went to Miss Nelson's house. The shades were tightly drawn and no one answered the door. In fact, the only person they did see was the wicked Miss Viola Swamp coming up the street. If she sees us, she'll give us more homework. They got away just in time. Maybe something terrible happened to Miss Nelson. Maybe she was gobbled up by a shark, said one of the kids. But that didn't seem likely. Maybe Miss Nelson went to Mars, said another kid. But that didn't seem likely either. I know, exclaimed one know-it-all. Maybe Miss Nelson's car was carried off by a swarm of angry butterflies. But that was the least likely of all. The capital of England is London. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm. The capital of Japan is Tokyo. The capital of Italy is Rome. The capital of Greece is Athens. The capital of China is Peking. The capital of Denmark is Copenhagen. The kids in room 207 became very discouraged. It seemed that Miss Nelson was never coming back, and they would be stuck with Miss Viola Swamp forever. They heard footsteps in the hall. "Here comes the witch," they whispered.
Hello, children.
Someone said in a sweet voice. It was Miss Nelson.
Did you miss me?
She asked. "We certainly did," cried all the kids. "Where were you?"
That's my little secret,
said Miss Nelson.
How about a story hour?
"Oh, yes," cried the kids. Miss Nelson noticed that during story hour, no one was rude or silly.
What brought about this lovely change?
She asked. "That's our little secret," said the kids. Back home, Miss Nelson took off her coat and hung it in the closet, right next to an ugly black dress. When it was time for bed, she sang a little song.
I'll never tell,
she said to herself with a smile. P.S. Detective McSmog is working on a new case. He is now looking for Miss Viola Swamp. Miss Nelson is back.
Woohoo!
One Friday, Miss Nelson told her class that she was going to have her tonsils out.
I'll be away next week,
She said.
and I expect you to behave.
Yes, Miss Nelson.
Said the kids in 207. But at recess, it was another story,
Oh no!
Wow.
said the kids.
While Miss Nelson is away, we can really act up.
Not so fast.
Said a big kid from 309.
Haven't you heard of Viola Swamp?
Who?
Asked Miss Nelson's kids.
Miss Swamp is the meanest substitute in the whole world.
Said the big kid.
Nobody acts up when she's around.
Oh.
Said Miss Nelson's kids.
She's a real witch.
Said the big kid.
Oh.
Said Miss Nelson's kids.
I'll just bet you get the swamp.
Said the big kid. On Monday morning, Miss Nelson's kids were all in their seats. They were very nervous. Some of them had not slept well all weekend.
If we get the swamp, I'll just die,
said one kid. They heard footsteps in the hall. Slowly, the knob turned, and the door opened. It was Mr. Blandsworth, the principal. I shall personally take over the class, he said. Miss Nelson's kids were so relieved. But they soon learned that Mr. Blandsworth was not a lot of fun. All morning, Mr. Blandsworth tried to amuse the class with his corny card tricks.
Pick a card, any card.
Oh, brother,
said the class. That afternoon, Mr. Blandsworth showed the class his favorite shadow pictures.
this is kid stuff,
said the class. The next day, Mr. Blandsworth demonstrated his favorite bird calls. They were not a success. And for 2 days, Mr. Blandsworth showed slides of his goldfish, Lucille. Miss Nelson's kids had never been so bored. While dusting erasers in the schoolyard, 3 of the ringleaders of 207 discussed the situation.
Something will have to be done,
They said.
We must get rid of Blandsworth.
And they hatched a plot. After school, they painted and sewed and borrowed some old clothes. And they practiced some very difficult stunt work in the backyard. The next day, they weren't in class,
That's too bad.
said Mr. Blandsworth.
They'll miss all the excitement.
Mr. Blandsworth was about to show the class his collection of ballpoint pens from all over the world when someone came to the door. Slowly, the knob turned, and the door opened.
Oh, look!
Said the class.
Miss Nelson is back!
A tall and lumpy Miss Nelson tottered into the room. Mr. Blandsworth was surprised.
You're back sooner than we expected,
He said. The tall and lumpy Miss Nelson didn't speak. Said the kids.
Her throat must still be sore.
Are you sure you're well enough?
Said Mr. Blandsworth.
Sure!
Said the kids.
Well, in that case,
Said the principal.
I'll be getting back to the office. Nice to have you back, Miss Nelson.
And he left the room.
Hot dog!
Cried the class.
We got rid of Blandsworth.
Now we can do just as we please.
Uh-oh.
And at the stroke of 10, the kids from 207 left the building. No one stopped them. They went straight to the movies where they saw
The monster that ate Chicago.
twice.
This is really living.
They said. Afterward, they went to Lulu's where they stuffed themselves silly. But soon, they made a serious mistake. Heading back to school, they passed Miss Nelson's house. Miss Nelson couldn't believe her eyes.
Those are my kids.
She said in a scratchy voice.
What are they doing out of school? And who is that with them?
Miss Nelson telephoned Mr. Blandsworth to see what was going on.
You're not Miss Nelson,
Said Mr. Blandsworth,
Miss Nelson is back.
and he hung up.
Can't fool me.
He said,
Said
Miss Nelson,
Something will have to be done.
and she went to her closet. Back in 207, Miss Nelson's kids were spending an agreeable afternoon. They were very pleased with themselves.
We should do this more often.
They said. They did not notice the figure out in the hall. Slowly, The knob turned, and the door opened.
My name is Viola Swamp,
said the lady in a scratchy voice.
Yikes!
Cried the kids.
The swamp!
That's right,
said Miss Swamp.
and I'm here to whip this class into shape. Get back to those desks on the double.
The class did as it was told. The big kid from 309 was certainly right. Miss Swamp was a real witch. She knew how to get results. The class did a whole week's worth in no time.
We shouldn't have gotten rid of Blandsworth,
They said.
Pipe down,
Said the swamp.
or...
Just then, something under a desk attracted her attention. It was a mask,
Aha!
said Miss Swamp,
So that's your little game.
and she tried on the mask just as Mr. Blandsworth stepped into the room.
Miss Nelson,
Said Mr. Blandsworth.
I'm of the opinion that someone has been impersonating you.
Uh-oh.
Whispered the kids.
You don't say.
Said Miss Swamp.
Probably just some kids acting up. I'm sure it won't happen again.
And Mr. Blandsworth left.
And it won't, will it?
Said Miss Swamp to the class.
Because the swamp will be watching.
A minute later, Miss Nelson appeared.
I'm back.
She said.
Hot dog.
Cried the kids.
Are we glad to see you?
Didn't you have fun with Mr. Blandsworth?
Asked Miss Nelson. Said the kids. They decided not to mention Miss Viola Swamp, but they wondered why Miss Nelson hadn't seen her in the hall. There was an old lady who swallowed some books. There was an old lady who swallowed some books. I don't know why she swallowed those books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed a pen. She was happy again when she swallowed that pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed a pencil case. Without leaving a trace, she swallowed that pencil case. She swallowed the pencil case to hold the pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed a ruler. She couldn't look cooler swallowing that ruler. She swallowed the ruler to measure the pencil case. She swallowed the pencil case to hold the pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed a folder. She didn't feel any older when she swallowed that folder. She swallowed the folder to protect the ruler. She swallowed the ruler to measure the pencil case. She swallowed the pencil case to hold the pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed some chalk. She didn't balk when she swallowed that chalk. She swallowed the chalk to decorate the folder. She swallowed the folder to protect the ruler. She swallowed the ruler to measure the pencil case. She swallowed the pencil case to hold the pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed a bag. She didn't brag when she swallowed that bag. The old lady didn't fuss when around the corner came a big yellow school bus. She started a cheer that she could not hold back. Woohoo! and out popped her brand new backpack. Have a great school year! The Teacher from the Black Lagoon. It's the first day of school. I wonder who my teacher is. I hear Mr. Smith has dandruff and warts. And Mrs. Jones has a whip and a wig. But Mrs. Green is supposed to be a real monster. Oh my, I have her! Mrs. Green, room 109. What a bummer! I sit at my desk. I fold my hands. I close my eyes. I'm too young to die. Suddenly, a shadow covers the door. It opens. In slithers Mrs. Green. She is really green. She has a tail. She scratches her name on the blackboard with her claws. Freddie Jones throws a spitball.
Uh-oh.
She curls up her lip and breathes fire at him. Freddie's gone.
Oh
There is just a little pile of ashes on his desk. Talk about bad breath, giggles Eric Porter. She slithers over, unscrews his head, and puts it on a globe stand. I bet she gives homework on the first day of school. Your homework for today, grins Mrs. Green, smoke rising from her nostrils, is pages 1 to 200 in your math book. All the fraction problems. We've never had fractions, shouts Derek Bloom. Come up here, she beckons with her claw. Derek stands by her desk. This is a whole boy, she smirks. She takes a big bite. This is half a boy. Now you've had fractions. Doris Foodle cracks her gum.
Uh-oh.
Mrs. Green swallows her in one gulp. No chewing in class, she smiles. Mr. Bender, the principal, sticks his head in. Keep up the good work, he nods and closes the door. I wish I could get sent to the principal's office. Let's call the roll, cackles Mrs. Green. Freddie Jones is absent. Derek Bloom is half here. Eric Porter is here and there. Doris Foodle is digesting. What about spelling? Shouts Randy Potts. Spelling can be fun, beams Mrs. Green, wiggling her fingers at him. Abracadabra kazam. That's tough to spell, says Randy.
Uh-oh.
Suddenly, there's a flash of light, a puff of smoke, and Randy's a frog. Penny Weber raises her hand. Can I go to the nurse? She whines. What's wrong? Asks Mrs. Green. I have a huge headache, says Penny.
Uh-oh.
Mrs. Green wriggles her fingers. There's another flash of light. and Penny's head is the size of a pin. Better? Asks Mrs. Green. Now it's nap time. Everyone who still has one, put your head on your desk. I hope I make it to recess. Sweet dreams, she cackles as I close my eyes. Suddenly, the bell rings. I wake up. There's a pretty woman writing her name on the blackboard. She has real skin and no tail. I'm Mrs. Green, your teacher, she smiles. I jump out of my chair, run up, and hug her. Well, thank you, she says. I'm glad to be here. Not as glad as I am. 100 Days of School. If you go to school for 95 days and then go 5 more days, what do you get? Smarter and smarter and... How cool! 100 days of school. If 10 tired children all take off their shoes, what do you get? Lots of bare feet and, I suppose, 100 toes. If you find a tiny bug with 50 legs on one side and 50 on the other, what do you get? 100 legs and... Yes, indeed, a centipede. If 20 children each drop 5 papers on the floor, what do you get? 100 papers and... I would guess an awful mess.
Oh no!
If you eat 10 salty peanuts every minute for 10 minutes, what do you get? 100 peanuts and... Big mistake, a tummy ache. If 99 dots are on a clown suit, what do you get? 100 polka dots. Those on his clothes, plus 1 on his nose. If 25 bees fly out of a hive, then 25 more, and 25 more, and 25 more, what do you get? 100 bees and... No surprise, some exercise. If you put 10 candles on a birthday cake and then add 90 more, what do you get? 100 candles and... With all those, a fire hose. If every day you save 1 penny for 100 days, what do you get? 100 pennies. Or, better still, $1 bill. If you pick 75 blackberries and your mom picks 25 more, what do you get? 100 berries and, oh my, blackberry pie. If a train goes by with 99 cars and then one red caboose, what do you get? 100 cars. And, my friend, the end. Keep watching for a special fun activity. Hey kids, to celebrate the 100th day of school, I thought it might be fun to learn how to say 100 in several other languages. Doesn't that sound like fun? Okay, let's get started. The first language we'll try is French. So it looks like this, C-E-N-T, which we would say cent. But this is how the French say 100.
100,
Here it is again.
100,
Do you think you can say 100 in French?
100,
Now let's try to say 100 in Spanish. In Spanish, it's spelled C-I-E-N, and it sounds like this.
100,
Here it is again.
100,
Can you say 100 in Spanish?
100,
All right, let's try to say 100 in German. Here's how it's spelled. It's a long word, E-I-N-H-U-N-D-E-R-T. And here's how you say it.
100,
Here it is again.
100,
Can you say 100 in German?
100,
Now let's try to say 100 in Italian. It is spelled C-E-N-T-O, and it sounds like this.
100,
Here it is again.
100,
Can you say 100 in Italian?
100,
All right, let's try to say 100 in Polish. It is spelled like this. S-T-O. That doesn't even look like that would say 100, does it? But it sounds like this.
100,
Here it is again.
100,
Can you say 100 in Polish?
100,
All right, let's try to say 100 in Dutch. It is spelled H-O-N-D-E-R-D, and it sounds like this.
100,
Here it is again.
100,
I think it sounds almost like the way we say it in English. So can you say 100 in Dutch?
100,
Good job. Well, that was fun. How do dinosaurs go to school? How does a dinosaur go to school? Does he walk? Does he ride in a busy carpool? Does he drag his long tail? Is he late for the bus? Does he stomp all 4 feet? Does he make a big fuss? When he gets to the school, does he roughhouse and punch? Does he make a quick grab for a classmate's packed lunch? Does he race up the stairs right ahead of the bell? Does he interrupt class with his own show and tell? Does a dinosaur yell? And when in the classroom plunk down in his chair, does a dinosaur fidget his tail in the air? Does he growl during chalk talks or roar out of turn? Does he make it too hard for the others to learn? Does he stir up the classroom by making a noise? Does he tease all the girls? Does he pick on the boys? No. A dinosaur carefully raises his hand. He helps out his classmates with projects they've planned. At recess, he plays with a number of friends and growls at the bullies till bullying ends. He tidies his desk, then he leaps out the door. Good work. Good work. little dinosaur.